Welcome back to Goldwynn Dinner Club. I'm Grif.
I'm Parker. I don't think we're going on the dark world just yet. I know there might be. I can't remember if there's a heart piece around here. I don't think there is. Not yet. God, I hate these things! Just die. As a matter of fact. Still talking about Sister Act. Welcome back to Sister Act. Back in the
Sister Act
Habit
3.
podcast.
When are they going to make Sister Act 3?
You know what? They are.
They are?
That was like a stupid meme for a long time, but they are going to make a 3 for Disney Plus.
Oh, cool. I'll watch that.
Apparently everyone... I don't know what it'll possibly be about, but like...
Lauryn Hill?
Lauryn Hill, come back. Yeah, maybe she's successful now. Maybe Dolores. Come back. Yeah, we're talking about Carrie Fisher. We're talking about all sorts of stuff. We're talking about Molderm. So we're going to go get the Master Sword. I think the Master Sword is an item of, much repute.
It's not that important in the Zelda games. It's like in none of... It's only in like one of them.
Do you know that like in Skyward Sword, the whole thing was supposed to be learn the history of the Master Sword, and you actually don't. It's still never made clear who made it, why, and when. It's just like, oh, you get this depowered version that's a robot, and you make it, and you kind of bring it back to life. I'm like, okay, I still don't know what blacksmith put it together out of what material. Like, none of this is clear.
Yeah.
I went the wrong way. You're supposed to go
I think
where that guy is.
It was probably the goddesses created it at this point.
Well, what they say is that it was created by the goddess Hylia, so not the goddesses, but the goddess who Zelda is a reincarnation of, and made it for the original sort of spirit of the hero. But I'm still like, we don't know if that's true. If you don't literally see something happen in Zelda world, then it's just legend.
Yeah.
Because there's a lot of story points that are like, oh, that's actually not how it went. And I'm like, okay, well then I don't take your word for that. All right, so you can keep your human shape. I could have sworn that there's a shortcut to go back around here. I don't know why this is such a problem. Normally I just save and quit, but I don't want to have any deaths. It counts as a death. I don't like that. This way? God, how do I get back? Ah!
Yeah, again.
Oh, it's here. It's here. Sorry.
I think you went in here.
No, I went down the lower path. This is the path back to Kakariko. As a matter of fact. Now I've just got that song stuck in my head. Yeah, Master Sword. But so it's like, they kind of reference this, but the first version of the Master Sword, you could get the White Sword and the Magic Sword in the original Zelda. You needed 13 hearts in order to get the Magic Sword, and that was referenced again in Breath of the Wild, right? You needed 13 hearts in order to pull the Master Sword, which I thought was a good sort of like Easter egg. But it was the Magic Sword, and they bring it back in the original Hyrule Warriors. It's like the Magic Sword. I couldn't believe that. But yeah, then they brought it back, and it wasn't in Zelda 2, but in A Link to the Past, this is the first time the Master Sword, and the legend of it being the blade that stops evil's bane, has existed. And this is such... Also, this is the first time you hear this theme, da-da-da-da-da, when he picks up the sword, da-da-da-da.
Doesn't this game
like
make you want to eat fruit snacks?
I don't know what this game makes me want to eat. It's so weird. It makes me want to eat mutton. Like just a big... Oh, here's the fake Master Sword. This is the Master Sword. Nope, that can't be it.
Yeah, I'm going to say fruit snacks. Every time I look at this game, I'm like...
you can't get to it from here. You have to go in from Kakariko. Sorry. I know better than this. Fruitsnacks. Why? Just because it brings you back to that place in time?
Maybe. It's just, I think about fruit snacks whenever I look at this game. I must have been eating...
It's very gummy looking.
I must have been eating fruit snacks the first time I played it.
I could buy that.
I was probably watching somebody play it too, because I wouldn't.
There are definitely
Go ahead.
I'm sorry. I was just gonna say that. I'm sorry. I was just gonna say that there are some games that for me have a smell for sure. Like, Luigi's Mansion. Like memories that are tied to smell. I'm sure you have them too. I know for sure some people in the comments will mention this, but like, I had just gotten a dog when I played Luigi's Mansion the first time, and I had this big bag full of like barbecue flavored rawhide bones. And so to this day, whenever I play Luigi's Mansion, that smell gets in my nose, which is so weird. And then this maybe is why I'm not super fond of Ocarina of Time anymore, but I was playing that when like one of my brothers was in the full-blown throes of being a teenager, and the house and that room just smelled like acne medication. So whenever I play Ocarina of Time, I'm like, I smell Clearasil. Ugh. That smell. I don't know. I do not have a strong smell associated with this game, though. Nothing but good feelings.
Yeah,
I
don't smell Fruitsnacks. I taste Fruitsnacks.
It is extraordinary that you won the Master Sword. One thing that bothers me, and we should say this for the end of the game, but I just love the language. With this shining sword, you can deflect. That's just so magical to like a child's mind, that word. That phrasing. But at the end of this game, it says, you have utterly destroyed Ganon, and the Master Sword sleeps forever. And then you play A Link Between Worlds, and it's like, oh, time to get the Master Sword. Ganon's back. And I'm like, hey! No! This game explicitly said he is destroyed forever. And the Master Sword sleeps forever. You can't just take all that away. So it's like, I really love A Link Between Worlds, but I mean, I guess it's okay because in Oracle of Ages and Seasons, they resurrect him. He is dead, and they're trying to bring him back like he's a ghost. And when they do bring him back, he's like mad. And the same is true in A Link Between Worlds. He's like insane. His brain doesn't even work.
You could say the timeline split.
And although I don't believe it is. It's considered a direct sequel, just 100 years later. And I do want to say that he never comes back. His eyes are like white, and I think it's just the spirit of Ganon possesses Yuga and combines with him.
You could say, that every time the Triforce does something, it splits the timeline. Because the Triforce is so powerful, you shouldn't use it, and it creates two dimensions, and that's why in all these games we have Dark Worlds and Light Worlds.
I don't know. Well, the Dark World is in reality the Golden Realm where the Triforce resides. That's where like the sages wait and all this other stuff. But like, go ahead.
I miss those. Do you remember Doritoz had these two flavors? They'd have two flavors in the same bag, and one of the flavors they had, and this was in like 2007, 2008. And they had this one bag that had buffalo and blue cheese flavored Doritos. And they were so good. And they only lasted like a year. And they never brought them back. And I never understood why. Because it was the most amazing snack food.
Just the ability for you to mix and match your own flavors.
Yeah, because they both tasted really good on their own.
Do they have a cool brand like Doritos Duo Loco?
Yeah, that was probably exactly what it was, honestly.
Twisters, Doritos Twisters.
And they would just put them in the same bag because mixing, and it's like ever since then, whenever I'd buy Doritos, I'd buy two flavors and I'd mix them together.
So, real quick, that's the Sheikah symbol. It does originate from this game, and Aghanim wears a kind of inverted version of it on his own robe, so maybe there's a Yiga tie there. But look at this Crimzeek looking. I always love that. These doors, they're so thick. Everything looks so thick and so weird. All right, I'm going to create a save state here because this castle gets nasty, dude. The sheer volume of dungeons in this game, my God. Okay. These guys, when you don't have a pot to throw at them, I still don't have like an amazing method for killing them beyond just cornering them and eat it, eat it, eat it, eat it. Like that's the extent of my power. Boomerang, boomerang.
Nice.
Oh, this looks like a face.
Oh, yeah.
These look sleepy eyes. These guys, I love that they run at you with daggers drawn, just like, get him! This castle's so creepy and evocative. Like, I love it, dude. Nice little curtains, though.
So these guys aren't monsters. These are just human guards, right?
They are possessed by Aghanim.
Okay.
So you are killing humans, unfortunately. But in the game, you get the Triforce and you wish everyone back to normal, so it's fine.
Well, that's been another episode of Goldwynn Dinner Club. Join us tomorrow.
Join us tomorrow.